Welcome students. We have already defined and introduced our subject transport phenomena. We had already seen how transport phenomena is an unified approach of three different processes. Transport phenomena, applications. We have already seen the applications of transport phenomena. The list of reference materials, books, etc. Lesson planning, fluid mechanics. We had started the definition of fluid mechanics and we were trying to bridge our fundamental gap of fluid mechanics, in which we had seen how solids and fluids are demarcated. We concluded that fluid continues to deform under the application of a shear force and fluid at rest cannot sustain a shear stress. Similarly, we had also seen how fluids behave when we apply parallel shear force on it, right? So we had seen that when we apply a shear force on the top of a liquid deforms and it exists a shear stress. Shear stress which travels from top to the bottom. At the top, the shear stress is higher, and decrease, as we increase towards the bottom of the surface, where the shear stress is minimum, and it is zero at the solid boundary. So, shear stress propagate perpendicular to the surface of applied shear forces. We had also seen that tau yx, we had seen that how we have nomenclatured the sign convention of tau yx. Tau yx is the y is the direction of propagation of shear stress and x is the direction of applied forces. We had seen how Newton's law of viscosity demarcates the solids from the fluids. The Hooke's law of elasticity is actually defines the solids, whereas Newton's law of viscosity defines the fluids. In Hooke's law of elasticity, stress is directly proportional to strain, whereas in Newton's law of viscosity, stress is directly proportional to strain rate or shear rate, right? Which is given by dux by dy. So proportionality constant given by the viscosity, which is called dynamic viscosity, which is, we have already discussed about that. It is intrinsic properties of any fluid. Dynamic viscosity and its SI unit is Pascal second and CGS unit was Poise, which is denoted by capital P, and 1 centipoise is equal to 0.01 poise or 1 millipascal second. We had discussed in previous class. We had also discussed about the viscosity depends on temperature, pressure, molecular structure and molecular weight. We had also discussed some correlations of dependence of viscosity dependence of temperature, whereas mu divided by mu 0 is equal to T divided by 273 to the power n, where n was characteristics of gases. N is equal to 0.65 for air. We had discussed this in a previous class. We had also discussed about the important parameter or important characteristics of liquid or fluids, which is known as kinematic viscosity, was actually the ratio of dynamic viscosity to the density of the liquid, and it is also called molecular diffusivity or momentum diffusivity. Its unit was meter x per second, and it is very important. We had discussed that it is many times it is being asked in your interview and in your several competitive examinations. Then we had characterized the fluid. There were two characterization we had discussed. First was based on Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids, and second was time-dependent fluids based on time-dependent fluids. In non-Newtonian Newtonian fluids, we had discussed that the fluids those follow the Newton's law of viscosity is called Newtonian fluids, and the example were water, glycerin, and all type of gases. Similarly, we had discussed about the Bingham plastics. Bingham plastics fluids are a viscous fluids which behaves as a solid when we apply shear stress below some limiting shear stress, which is called threshold shear stress tau 0, and when we apply above more than the value of shear stress, limiting shear stress or threshold shear stress, it start moving, and it is now behaves like a Newtonian fluid. Similarly, we had discussed pseudoplastic. Pseudoplastic is actually shear thinning fluids. When we apply shear force at minimum shear force, it behaves its characteristics, its curve characteristics was concave inward. When we apply higher shear stress rate or shear rate, it behaves like Newtonian fluids. Similarly, when we apply for dilatant fluids, we apply lower shear rate, then it behaves as its viscosity or its viscosity increases or its shear stress increases at lower shear rate, and when we apply higher shear rate, its viscosity is constant or its shear stress is constant, and at higher shear stress it behaves like a Newtonian fluid. Similarly, we had demarcated time-dependent fluids. There were two types of time-dependent fluids. We had discussed thixotropic fluids and rheopectic fluids. And we had also given its examples. Now in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the power law or Postwart-Dibale equations, which also further gives the theoretical definition, characterization of different types of fluids. Then we will discuss about the analogy of three different processes. Then we will discuss about the cell momentum balance, which is an important part of this subject. So cell momentum balance, we will start discussing cell momentum balance, how cell momentum balance is applied, and it is an integral process. We will discuss it on the lecture number 3. So I hope you will enjoy the class. Thank you all of you.